Welcome to Customer Acquisition. I'm Michael Barbera. Let's dive into the short and sweet version. So let's say you decided to be an entrepreneur to create your own lifestyle, control your own schedule, and of course, manage your own income. So let's say you decide to take tomorrow morning off. You sleep in, you walk outside to grab the morning paper, and a blue nondescript van pulls into your neighbor's driveway. Five people jump out wearing blue nondescript overalls. They go into your neighbor's house. They leave 5 hours later. As the van drives away, the side of the van says Mike's Insulation Services. How likely are you to talk to your neighbor about that product or service? Well, it's a blue van. It doesn't really stand out. It's insulation. It's in the wall. I can't really see it. It's not a very sexy product. Maybe, maybe not, probably not, right? So let's take that same scenario and let's revise it just a little bit. Now, let's say tomorrow morning you sleep in, you go outside to grab the morning paper, and a pink painted or tie-dye painted van pulls into your neighbor's driveway. Five people jump out wearing pink or tie-dye painted uniforms, overalls. They go into your neighbor's house. They leave 5 hours later. The van pulls away and it says Mike's Insulation Services on the side of the van. Now, how likely are you to talk to your neighbor about that product or service? Well, um, it's the insulation is still in the wall. It's still not a very sexy product. However, the pink and tie-dye van and overalls do stand out. So we're probably maybe a little more likely to ask our neighbor about that service. If there's only one thing that you get from this short and sweet version of customer acquisition, the first thing I want you to get is I want your brand, your products to be memorable and experiential. Memorable and experiential. Let's continue on. So if I were to ask you, how important is price? How important is money? How important is the purchase amount to your customer on a scale from A, not important, to E, very important? You can respond to yourself. However, most people would reply probably around D or E. And I would argue that because if we are bringing a remarkable, a memorable, an experiential product to the customer, then the customer is likely to overlook price. Let's go into an example. Let's say you're in the market to buy a brand new TV. It's a 4K 60-inch TV. You read Google reviews, you talk to your friends, you find the perfect 4K 60-inch TV. You go to your local store, you walk inside, the salesperson says, "Hey, how can I help you?" "I like that TV." "You made an excellent choice." "Ooh, I'm a smart customer. I made an excellent choice today." But I have to be honest with you. If you go to the Best Buy that's 5 miles away, you can get that very same $1,000 TV for $20 less, for $980. How likely are you to drive 5 miles to save $20 on a $1,000 item? Some people might drive, some people might not drive. So let's say you buy that TV, 2 weeks go by. Most people here would not drive 5 miles to save $20 on a $1,000 item. So 2 weeks go by and you love your TV. Now you want to buy a DVD player to go with it. So you read Google reviews, you talk to your friends, you find the perfect DVD player. You go back to that store, the salesperson says, "Hey, welcome back. How can I help you?" "I like that DVD player. You made an excellent choice." "Woo, I'm a smart customer. I made an excellent choice today." But I have to be honest with you, if you go to the store that is 5 miles away, our sister store, you can get that very same $40 DVD player for half off, for $20. Now, who's driving 5 miles to save $20 on a $40 item? More people are likely to drive when it's $20 compared to 40 rather than 20 on 1,000. And so therefore our answer changes. It's not always the purchase price or the discount that drives it. It's what it's in comparison to. So if I were to ask you how many people, listen to this session, own a $500 stereo in their home? Most people would say they don't. However, a select few say they would. And there's no judgment. Maybe you love music, maybe you work with audio equipment. However, we're not likely to buy that $500 stereo. But when we're shopping for a new vehicle and the salesperson says, "We can add this super duper cool new stereo system into this car for only $500." And now we do consumer math. 500 on top of, 40,000 over the course of 7 years, oh, it's practically free. Just throw it in, no big deal. And therefore, if the price seems like it's attainable, if the experience is there and we're not really paying for it, then the consumer is likely to overlook price. Now, the reason we're talking about price as we enter into this customer acquisition chat is because many entrepreneurs are blinded by consumers only care about price. Think about our own purchase decisions. We care about the experience, how memorable it is, and the brand it provides to us. All right, let's keep going. Let's talk about the what we're actually selling. So if we were to read a marketing or management textbook, then the definition of a product or service is likely to be a tangible or intangible item that provides value. That's not wrong. I'm not going to argue that, but I want you to take away a different definition for the purpose of customer acquisition. The definition of a product or service that I like you to take away. So there's only two things that you get from this short and sweet session is that the definition of a product or service is the emotional impact on the consumer. It is the emotional impact on the consumer. But how do we find out what that emotional impact is? So here on the screen, we have the 360 product perception framework. No need to worry about naming. Let's just use it, make an impact, right? So there's four concentric circles. In this center concentric circle, we have the generic product. In the next circle, we have the expected product. In the third circle, we have the augmented product. And then lastly, we have the potential product. So we're going to start in the center. So let's say we're buying that TV. We're going to buy a 4K 60-inch television set. The item we're buying, the generic product, is just that TV. No big deal. I swipe my credit card, you give me a TV. I pay cash, you give me a TV. End of deal. That is the generic product. But then we talk about the expected product. What do we expect when we buy that television? We expect it to work. We want it to have a warranty. We expect it to be a smart TV, be color, have good quality picture, good quality sound, come with a battery, with remotes, with a remote with batteries. We expect it to have a power cord. We expect it to have pristine packaging, because if you go to the store and there's two boxes of the exact same TV make and model, and one box is pristine and the other box has this little kind of tear in the corner, which box are we likely to buy? Probably the one that has pristine packaging. In the augmented product, the third ring, we talk about what else can be used with this product that we did not make. So let's say Mike's TV company manufactured this TV. What can you use with this TV that Mike's TV company did not manufacture? And that answer would likely be Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount, cable, satellite, PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, your cell phone, and the list goes on. So many different items can be added in. And then lastly, in the potential product is going to be, how does this TV have the potential to improve your overall quality of life? And so a TV, well, how does a TV improve our overall quality of life? Simple. It's entertainment, family night, date night, Netflix and chill. If you have children, that TV is likely a babysitter. So ways to think about what is the potential for this product to do more than just be a TV. Now, if you notice in all of these rings, we only mentioned the words TV once. All right, so the TV was mentioned in the generic product. When you market your product and you're looking for customers either to stay with you or to get new customers, the items we should be marketing are everything outside of the generic product. The generic product is just the TV, but we're not buying a TV. We're buying it because it comes with batteries in the remote. It's got an extra long power cord. It's got crystal clear picture for our favorite sports teams. We can use it with our favorite streaming apps where it comes already preloaded. It has the ability to be, have gaming involved with it for family nights. So we're selling everything outside of the generic product, and that is the emotional impact. And I'll give you three examples of the emotional impact on consumers. So let's say we are shopping for clothes. We're not buying clothes because it provides shelter from the elements and it keeps us warm or cool. We're buying clothes because it makes us feel good, right? So Clothes, or when we buy clothes, we're buying confidence. And when we buy jewelry, we're not buying gold or precious metals or gems or silver. We're buying love. We're buying appreciation. We're buying the fact that we're showing someone else that we care for them. And if there's only three things you get from this short and sweet version of customer acquisition, number three, I want it to be that when the consumer is buying something for the word love, when love is involved in the purchase, the price the consumer is willing to pay significantly increases. And let's look at number three, McDonald's, right? McDonald's provides us with food. It may not be the healthiest option. However, the emotional impact, what we're buying is consistency and reliability. If we go to a McDonald's in New York City and we go to a McDonald's in Denver, Colorado, that Big Mac is likely going to taste the same. We know what we're going to get regardless of which McDonald's we go to. So we're buying consistency and we're buying reliability. So when we're targeting customers, we're targeting new customers and we're also targeting existing customers. And if there's only four things that you get from the time you're stuck with me today, is number four, I want this to be, is that it is challenging to get a new customer, but it's more economical to keep that customer. So the goal is to keep customers coming back over a long period of time. And let's go back to the 1970s and talk about Microsoft's original mission statement. And I'm going to paraphrase it. Microsoft's original mission statement was something similar to have a Microsoft software on every desk in every home in the world. So let's say they conquered their goal and they have a Microsoft software on every desk in every home in the world. Do they just close their business and go home? Like, no, they have a fiduciary responsibility to continue to generate more revenue and keep those customers coming back. So to keep customers engaged, I would recommend using the 5 stages of the consumer process, which is also known as the A-call journey map, which is an acronym. It stands for awareness, consideration, conversion, action, and loyalty. In the awareness phase, this is when the consumer has identified they have a potential challenge, or they have a first awareness of a brand. When they're aware of a brand for the first time, like, oh, that brand can do X, I may not need that, not even thinking about it, I'm just aware it exists. But on the other side, we have a potential identify we have a problem. We're not ready to buy anything. We just know we have a challenge and it eventually needs to be solved. In the consideration phase, the consumer is weighing their options. They're deciding between multiple alternatives between competition A, competition B, and potentially your product. But also keep in mind that doing nothing is an answer as well. Then the conversion phase. This is when the consumer is willing to purchase, willing to buy, willing to swipe that credit card. So where most brands go awry is they stop here, like, yes, we got the customer, we got the win, we got the sale. And that's where we go awry because it's more economical to retain that customer over a long period of time. If there's only 5 things that you get from the time that you're stuck with me in this short, sweet 15-minute version of customer acquisition, number 5, I want it to be customer lifetime value. Customer lifetime value is how much money is the customer going to spend with your brand or on that product over the course of their lifetime. So the sample I like to use is if you like to drink coffee and you drive by your favorite coffee shop each day on the way to work. So $5 for your coffee, 5 days per week, that's $25. $25 per week. Let's say you drive to work 50 weeks a year, 2 weeks for vacation. 50 multiplied by $5 is $1,250, and then multiply that by how many years you take that same route to work. That would be your customer lifetime value. The goal is to extend that CLV as much as possible. So although getting new customers is important, where I emphasize brands put most of their emphasis and resources is in the last 2 phases of the A-call journey map, which is action and loyalty. In the action phase, this is when the customer is using the product, right? They trusted us enough to swipe that credit card and make that purchase, but now we want to know how they're using it. Just because the customer buys it doesn't mean they're actually using it the way that we intended them to. And so I'll talk more about an example of that in the longer version for the customer acquisition series. And Then we go to the loyalty, and this is keeping customers coming back. This is gamification, loyalty or rewards program. And the most simplest form of this would be going back to the punch card of buy 9 sandwiches, get one free. It gives customers a mission. We as consumers love to earn fictitious currency. We love to spend money to get fake money. For example, we will spend more money to stay at a hotel that is in our loyalty or rewards points in order to get free points or free money or fake money, and therefore potentially get a free night in the future. And then down here we have touch points. We'll go to the last slide. And so these touch points listed here are arbitrary, just for an example. So for here, we're showing 6 touch points for awareness, 6 touch points for consideration, 4 for conversion. That's arbitrary. You might have 6 touch points for awareness. You might have 14 touch points for consideration, so on and so forth. But placing these touch points, such as search engine optimization, digital ads or retargeting ads, email marketing, et cetera. These are the ways that the customers are being engaged with your brand over a long period of time. And why touch points are important is because when it comes to consumer packaged goods, I can't say this for all brands, but this is just an arbitrary number that is an average between consumer packaged goods or CPGs. And that is typically the consumer is willing to purchase in the conversion phase once they've seen or experienced 9 to 13 touch points. That's a lot of touch points. If we're talking about services, it gets a little more challenging, and the average is 17 to 22 touch points. So how can we continue to provide a remarkable, memorable experience to our consumers with touch points 9 to 13 or 17 to 22 times? This is Michael Barbera, and it's been a pleasure sharing with you in the short and sweet version of customer acquisition.